detriment. We'll just have to find out where things are going to shake out. But to do that, Trelly, we're going to jump down to the casters for game 1.
The comms they've got, I look at this, my first thought is it's Johnny on a wheelish, and he's been running
so hard to deal with. Gonna have to put a stop to it early.
Well, maybe they'll try again, as we've seen this play come around before, but this time it's a knockout, pulls beads from La Revolution, and now it's ultimates that go a-flying here. Whether or not anyone else comes through, it's Johnny who takes down Boba first, because of the rotation coming through from Rapio. It's a double kill now, as both of these members have fallen for YODIE Gang, and the ult runs out for Descent into Madness, meaning Rapio even gets a kill for their troubles.
Blink and you'll miss it, man. That was pretty clean and pretty quick. Does make you a little bit safer, but it does make you a target as well, because you don't have a traditional support relic. You know that as soon as that gets forced away, Rapio is taking a lot of damage here. Where is his dash, Blur?
I don't know where his dash is. He used beads firsthand. Maybe it was all just a bait, because after doing so, Pretty Prime overextends and falls in response, because like you said, there's not much peel on the
No harm, no foul. You might as well at least attempt to steal something away.
Well, we can see that now with 0 and 4 at 7 minutes in. It might be 0 and 5 here as Boba finds a 1v1, but Johnny says, hey, I'll just win that this early on. Wheelish gone from very much a finesse style pick to honestly a god that just looks like it's so comfortable away. 10 minutes in, they find themselves up 4,000 gold here. It's a very nice perch for any other of their continued fights here, but Julio under a little bit of trouble. The first time we see some fight over the solo side. And Boba gets away with it, thanks to the gas pedaling from Seagull.
And you got Johnny on rotation, so they're going to have to get out of here pretty quickly as the Warrior class.
That is very true, but now, again, we'll turn our attention back over towards the dual lane. Spudio under a little bit of attention here, but it's mostly just so Johnny's kept out of the way. Ultimate's forced. I believe that, yeah, Divine Retribution was used as well. Johnny had a half HP, so it's a good look, but they're not done. Spudio isolated. And all the ultimates down means that Spudio is going with them.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot you can do if you're getting dove by Cthulhu ult, the jungler is there, and the Chernobog ult. That's a great opportunity here for the YODIE Gang. They're still pushing it.
They could. Johnny forced to beads to deal with the Maya. They'll go ahead and grab themselves the tier 1 tower. Rapio has made a rapid. My goodness, that damage output is insane! And rightly so, Rapio just shows up and shuts up La Revolution. They did damage to the window. That Fire Giant took no damage whatsoever. That was more like tapping on the glass. Like, can we even look at it? No, they can't look at it. Which also means as well, they're secure to steal. Might be a problem. Seagull forced down to the ultimates very low, and Johnny just walks them down. One knock-up, and down they fall. Now with the man advantage, despite having the Chernobog in the other lane, YODIE, I don't even know if they can defend this Fire Giant.
With the mounted archery. I mean, it's just, you can't stand there. It's very simple. It's just as easy as that. And Boba gonna go for a 1v1. Johnny is so patient, man.
Look, that just goes to show. That was Divine Retribution. That's Nemesis pretty much as strong as they're gonna get. And now the turnaround potential is here for them. Bees forced, their health bar's low, and Johnny uses the jump patiently once again. Not for an escape, but for damage this time. It's just, like you said, so patient on that. Boba was threatening them with everything.
The Phoenix did half of its HP and said, all right, what's the game plan? Are you going to fight us to the death over this one objective? Or are you going to let us take this for free? And Julio could be in a bad spot here, but damage has already been done.
And there's the dash back up, thanks to the cooldown from the rest of the abilities. A final judgment clips Sun Tzu for 1,000 damage, and they'll try and answer this one back. Spudio does, and Johnny finds Boba as well. This is all on for Julio, and it's all gone wrong. YODIE Gang looked for a potential pick. Julio had no dash. We can find him. We can kill him. Guess what? The rest of the team shows up and says, that is a mistake. We will
completed builds for YODIE Gang, but actually still some recipes still waiting for him. And Hex Mambo are looking for the fight.
Well, they'll try it, but whether or not YODIE Gang let him get it for free, they're trying. I'm a Monster comes out. Rapio is low, and La Revolution will take that down. They get one, but look at what they're losing in response. It's an outright massacre coming through from the carries as Johnny finds a triple and a double kill. It's a full house for Hex Mambo. And with the Phoenixes all gone, that 99% is now a 99.9999. And they'll round it out and take game 1 here.
You know, I wonder, Blur, is it 100% if they don't even walk into this fountain? Do the fire waves still end the game? I would argue you got a pretty good shot of it with all 3 waves pushing down into the Titan
You're
room.
looking towards Johnny immediately, right? Are you getting killed or are you getting the kills? And whatever comes first is going to be where those mages can follow up from.
Well, the only way to find out is to jump down to the caster, so without further ado, it's Blur and Kaizo to take it away.
This is going to be more of a jungle-focused thing. These mages can follow up whichever of these junglers gets themselves.
Earthshaker gets a little bit more damage when you use it at minimum range, which, you know, if you're going straight down trying to peel for yourself, that's when you go. But oh my god, he's dead!
Yep, just straight up. I'm going to run at them and kill them is what Hex Mambo said.
Johnny and actually fought him back into his tower and facilitated that first engagement around the shield buff. See a miss from him here in the right lane. But it's a very different pace that Boba's going to have to play at.
Oh no, Johnny's just doing Johnny things. I'm concerned for the way this game is going. Rad doesn't even have blink, it's beads. Johnny is just taking it to him. Straight in, Johnny is back over this side of the map. And it looks like gold buff is not the call. It's ultimates to go a flying. And who's going to be dying? It's going to be Sun Tzu. Taken down by the wave, washed away now. Now making the rotation here. Boba is in. Did get a knock up, but it was on the support. So don't want to go firing off the ult just yet for that. And now they find themselves 3 kills down, 2 in mid lane and 1 in the duo lane. What do YODIE gang need to do to pump well? So 5 minutes in, YODIE gang have pumped the brakes once. Can they do it again? Double pull in. Rapio uses the blast away to get away from this, but Sun Tzu's in a rotation as well. Ults go a-flying. Who's going to be following it through? Boba blinks in, hits Rapio. That's Sun Tzu taking one down. Finally, YODIE gang answer backs. Can they get cozy? They can because of the pull.
And he's got 1 already. Johnny landing back in, gets 1 HP on La Revolution. He dashes out, but gets cleaned up anyway.
All right, well, now we're going to see whether or not the gravity surge is good just for the A attack speed. Pretty Prime answers back for some good peel. Nice bit of self-peel. The Vulcan turret might do it, but no, just out of range. Pretty Prime gets themselves a double kill. We got a fight on our hands here, Kaizo. YODIE do not want to lose this one.
Amazing. Fantastic. Could not have asked for
sustain they've got available. I doubt Julio's worried about that too much. And just to round out on your point, for me, you mentioned Boba. It's all going to be played around Boba and how aggressive they can be. I'm looking at La Revolution. They actually got to dictate something this time. They had no opportunity to do so. We'll see whether or not this 2v2 goes well here. Boba and Julio, but it's not a 2v2. It's a 3v2. Rapio's here, and Rapio says, hey, guess what? I'm going to be a part of this. I'm getting you guys out of this engagement. Julio takes down Seagull. And as a result, Hex Mambo find themselves another 2 kills. This time, no involvement from La Revolution.
And Cozy gets pulled in here. Should be.
Blink attempt by Boba. But going into the later stages of this game, are either of these teams worried, like, we have to win this early because we fall off?
I wouldn't say that it's, you know, alarm bells are not ringing, but they should be for Seagull because he's going to get absolutely eviscerated by Johnny combining with Julio there. I don't think alarm bells are ringing based on composition alone here. I do think that Hex, every single one of these characters, in particular the Baba Yaga, wants to take it as long as possible. And Sun Tzu jumped in 1v2!
Yeah, I wanted a 1v1, but there is no such thing as a 1v1 in the duo lane. Now Boba and La Revolution trying to answer this back. Beast forced on Johnny. The pull is there, but it doesn't even matter. Now coming through, Cozy sends the sticks ahead of time. And Spadio gets themselves a pick as well. What started as a fight that YODIE gang took ends with Hex Mambo dominantly winning it.
Pretty Prime ulting his feet here is getting chased down by Rapio, who takes a large sum of damage. But Johnny is here, no blink available. They're going for it again on this Ratatosker here, and I just don't love this call.
It's not particularly a fight that YODIE gang really want. They just want to try for poke, but Pretty Prime tries to show up and just can't match the damage output. Now in a 1v1 situation, well, I say 1v1, but Rapio answers the kill. This is all just for the beacon that is around. YODIE gang had the members there. Unfortunately, they tried for the fight.
Because a lot of these engagements don't look great for them. They're going for a fire giant here.
This is a call that they tried last time when they didn't have the damage output for it. This time, though, they might. Cozy's here and made the rotation. Julio's here. Can they go ahead and steal this away? Yogi Dangu get themselves the fire giant. It's a big call for them. This will even things out and give them a fighting chance in this ensuing battle, but Johnny just dunks in on 2 and starts causing a ruckus, leading the charge. La Revolucion will end up falling. Julio not done yet, taunts back in Sun Tzu, and that's 2 gone.
I'm sorry, I swear we just saw Julio use that ability, but apparently it's back online.
Cooldowns, mate.
I'm gonna be honest, Blur, I don't hate the call whatsoever for YODIE Gang, because yes, you do lose 2, but you get Fire Giant on 3 people, and perhaps more need to just take a breath and back up, but they are not doing that. They are still chasing it all the way down. They've got Boba on the flank here, and he blinks in.
There's a start. It's on for Rapio. Home sweet home is not enough. Johnny, though, still answers back. This damage output from the Ratatoska is insane. Seagull's trying to answer back into Julio, but Julio doesn't care. Julio goes in aggressively, looking for more damage. Johnny jumps back on in into the backline. Julio takes down Seagull, and Pretty Prime falls as well. Hey, those 3 members with the Fire Giant, they're gone. Johnny comes up with a triple, and Sun Tzu is left to ponder where it all went wrong.
Man, I don't want to sound like
I
a
never got the
broken
chance to
record.
mention it, but tier 2 breastplate and then pivoting away towards this talisman of energy, it feels like it's centered around cheap, effective items, but I don't think it's really worked out in their favor as YODIE Gang now trying to push up this left-hand side, like you said, split the map, but it's only Sun Tzu who's under pressure now. Everyone else was caught out on the retreat or on the way over. Rapio clears out 1. And now, hey, we've seen this before. Johnny has no concern. He is 1v4, and there is no concern or threat on his life at all.
Boba blinked in there, tried to land. If Hex Mambo go for this Phoenix, that might be the only place you can stake your claim if you're the YODIE Gang. Pretty Prime is going to drop the ult, hit 3 actually, and put some decent damage down. And once again, the YODIE Gang seem like they want to chase down. But once again, Johnny is just making it impossible for them.
Unfortunate. I say it hit 3, but Julio just stood there and they will disengage from there. But I'm pretty sure if they really wanted, they could probably take this fight because the rest of the team comes around the corner. But look at that, Sun Tzu just goes straight in on Johnny, but the peel is there from Julio, and now they're getting turned and burned.
Rapio goes into the ult. Home sweet home popped in. La Revolution is going and they want the fight.
They do want to fight, but Pretty Prime is back. They'll look to try and fight it, but La Revolution's health bar just cannot withstand this damage output. Every single time the Revolution has gone in, they have inevitably fallen trying to set up a play that I'm not even sure if they got it off, the team could capitalize on. Pretty Prime is level 16. I'm sure has a fair bit of pen online, but
move their way over to this Fire Giant. Blur, I don't think anybody from YODIE Gang is going to be showing up to this one, and even if they did, I don't know if it would be a good idea for them to do so. Hex Mambo will land the FG, and Cozy is going in.
Cozy throws out the stun and sticks, but in doing so, it's a little bit of damage from Pretty Prime from max range ultimate. Boba goes in with the ultimate. 2-man knockup. This is the best fight they've had so far. Julio, the target right now because of their low HP, will get taken down. That's a good shutdown, and it's 1 member gone. But Boba, sidestepping a little bit of damage, puts a TKO on Cozy and Spudio. But Johnny's here, and in this late game when everyone's abilities are down, Johnny could continue to run it through, but instead, Hex Mambo, again, this precision, cool, calm, collected. They're not going to brute force this. They got Fire Giant. Let's just use this Fire Giant for what its intended purpose is.
What are you giving up if you're YODIE Gang, and what do you need to defend? I think that you can realistically choose either decision to stake your claim on one of these Phoenixes or try to give one up and then try to defend the rest of the base. But you need your mid laner, and he is dead.
No. Seagull just turned around, and this is the thing, like, it was just one instance of Pretty Prime throws the 1 and 3. Johnny waits that out perfectly, says, I don't need to wait. I can wait. Once the peel's gone, I go in. That was a basic attack, a dart, using that for a little bit of extra cover. Wave clear-wise, it doesn't seem too bad.
Here we
Not
go.
if Hex Mambo just go over the top. Spudio's pulled in, though, and that's huge for them. Spudio's the first to fall. Boba ends up falling to Rapio in the backline. Health bars get low on both sides. The Phoenix, and that's what's important.
And Cozy's tanking it up. Johnny's in no man's land contending with Seagull, and they're going to walk back in here. Hex Mambo, no damage on the bird, though, because Spudio's dead. YODIE Gang seemed to lost that fight. Otherwise, probably could have gone pretty well for them. YODIE Gang know this Oni's going on. They're once again trying to fight over it.
And it's just to try and run out the clock at this point. But look who's going in aggressively. This Baba Yaga's damage is not to be deterred at this point. And Johnny's got the ult again. They'll chase down any stragglers they can find. Jump on in, but don't find a home. Stealing with 3v1. Usually that's the front line's job, but they just don't care. It's Cozy finds Seagull from the back with the ultimate. And YODIE Gang are forced to retreat here. Out comes, you know, from Pretty Prime to try and deter anything more. But Rapio, yeah, Rapio's going in aggressively, but Boba's able to answer them back. And now Cozy's in trouble. Hosted by their own petard, Hex Mambo have got themselves in a bit of a trouble here, but Johnny can just answer back perfectly. And now with Spudio here, they've still got Julio to frontline this. They could look for this mid Phoenix.
Julio is quite low, however, and they do have a wave coming, so they'll back up and play it a little bit slower. Julio actually gets pulled in here. La Revolution gets one, but immediately dies in return. And that's going to be a deicide blur. It does not look good for the YODIE Gang's chances.
Not all trades are created equally. You can say that in chess, and you can say that in Smite. Trading out the support for the solo lane. I mean, Sun Tzu's almost full build, and if we could take a quick peek at perhaps player damage, I have a feeling that they are pumping out most of it on the team.
Yeah, I think that you're totally right about that, and YODIE Gang, actually, they are 100% committing this Fire Giant here, Blur.
Okay, let's have a peek and see how it goes. La Revolution still waiting on it. There's some big ultimates to come out from Hex Mambo to start the fight, but YODIE Gang do get themselves the Fire Giant. It is secured, and now they're going to find themselves Cozy because Cozy's left alone. Every member from Hex Mambo just meandered their way over here. Didn't think there was too much of a threat, but look at this YODIE Gang.
Despite the fact that they are this far ahead, and it's so impressive from YODIE Gang.
Oh, this could be a huge problem here. Boba dashed in away. They found Johnny in a 2v1, and Johnny will answer that one quite happily. And that's a big fight to start things off. Now Julio turning back in Sun Tzu here.
That's big.
It is pretty big, but the fight seems to fizzle for a little bit until Seagull starts trying to frontline, and they just can't do it. Rapio picks up one into the backline. Goes Julio to distract the damage from Pretty Prime, and Rapio gets himself a double, make it a triple kill now. And La Revolution will be the last to fall, but they will end up falling here. With Mid Phoenix still down, could Hex Mambo even go for an end here? Look at the calls, look at the pings.
This is a bizarre situation where the Titan is on holiday and will not be available in the fountain room once they get there. They do look like they sent Johnny and Julio
it's gone.
to go deal with that. So they do eventually banish it back to the Shadow Realm and will be able to at least contend with it.
And look at the damage output. Boba's the only one up, but they're just going to be here to be able to start writing the obituary for the Titan. Scratch that, though. Spudio says, yeah, we're just going to put you down. No ifs, ands, or buts. Hex Mambo take the set in 2.
Hex Mambo take it in 2, but YODIE Gang put up the best fight I have